This week on my sewing journey, I am working on a double ruffled wreath. This project is a lot simpler than it looks. For the actual wreath part, you can use either a styrofoam circle, or if you can't find those, you could make your own little circle by making a fabric tube. Now, how you would do that is you would take the fabric of your choice. It can be any kind of fabric because you really can't see it through the pocket rod part. You really can't see the actual fabric, so you can use any fabric. Fold it in half, and then you're going to measure 3 inches and cut it out for the length that you want it to be. Then you will fold it over and sew right sides together all the way down the length of the tube, and then you'll fill it with polyfill and cap off the ends by sewing them closed so the polyfill doesn't fall out when you go to put the pocket rod part of your wreath on there. Now, for the wreath part, the easiest way to do this is start by making your pocket rod. So you're going to make the decision how big you want this to be and how much ruffles you want. If you want 3 layers, 4 layers, that will be determined by the length of this. So what you do is, again, you make the pocket rod by folding over the width of this. You want it just a little bit bigger so when you stuff it with the polyfill, you can pull it through easily, because you're going to insert your tube through here. So you're going to want to have a little space on each side. And then you just fold it over and then just sew straight down. Now for the ruffles, you can do them 2 ways. There are 2 ways to do it. There's this way where you sew the hem. You hem the 2 pieces of fabric, 1 piece of fabric. You hem it all the way down on both sides. Then you come back and you sew a running stitch all the way down. Now, when you sew this running stitch, you're going to want to use, if you're using a machine, the largest stitch length that your machine has. And I would recommend only at one end. So I would recommend, like the first end, back tacking just 1 stitch, so that when you're pulling to make the ruffle, when you pull on the strings, you don't accidentally pull them all the way out. And then you would just pull them down through and then just sew it on there. Or you can do the other style ruffle, which is after you've hemmed both sides, you slightly just fold and sew, fold and sew, fold and sew all the way around, and it makes the same type of ruffle. It depends upon which way you think is easier. But you'll do your bottom ruffle first, then you do your next ruffle up near the pocket rod, and try not to sew into the pocket rod because that will make the space smaller. After that, you pull it onto your tube and you sew that shut. I did mine by hand sewing it shut. And then you can start embellishing it with silk flowers, ribbons, bows, whatever you want. If you want lace on your ruffle, do that when you're doing the hemming part of the ruffle. If you want lace on the edge of it, or like a ribbon all the way around, you might want to do that during the hemming part of it when you're making the 2 hems, because it's a little harder to put you still could do it, but it is a lot harder to sew the lace or ribbon onto the actual ruffle if you want the lace all the way around the wreath or a ribbon all the way around the wreath. And it's a little harder to do it at the other part. I hope you like this idea. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for all who do subscribe and all who do view each and every week. And happy sewing.